During this video, we are going to take a closer look at two of the most common groups used in Microsoft Word. That would be on the Home tab, the font group and the paragraph group. The first one we're going to look at is the font group. I'm literally going to go through each command on the font group. So the first thing you need to do before you make any changes to text is you need to highlight the text or select the text. And you do that just by click and dragging through the text. Okay, the first box up here, I'm going to go just like we're reading a book here. So the first box is a drop down and it's all the different font styles you can use. I'm just going to change it to Arial Black for a minute just so you can see the difference. This next box over is the size box to change the size of the font. We're going to change it to 14. The next box over is a grow font command where it just grows the font. If you look over in the size box, it just grows it by the next size up. So 18, 20, 22. And then the next one with the down arrow is the shrink font, and we're going to take it back down to our 14. Okay. The next icon or command is the change case. It's a drop-down menu, so you click on it, and you can choose. How many of you probably have typed a word and went, oh no, my cap locks are on, so you just erase everything and retype it. This is nice because you can just change things to uppercase, or you can change things to lowercase, or you can change things to sentence case, okay, which is very nice, easy to do. Now, the next command over is a clear formatting. So it just takes it right back to the default formatting. Okay, down to the second row, we have the bold, which just bolds the font. Italicize, which italicizes it. There's the basic underline, or there's a drop down for different underline styles. And you can also, if you choose an underline, you can go back in and then you can change the color of that underline. Okay, the next one over, I'm just going to unclick these just to take all those off. The next one over is a strike through command, which just basically is used oftentimes for proofreading and things where you're telling someone to cross that out, take that out. Okay, and so I'm just going to take that out. Now I'm going to add something down here for our next example. So our next example is subscript and superscript. And I'm going to do, 10, 16. Okay, so the first one is H2O. You're used to seeing H2O with the 2 down at the bottom. If I just highlight the 2 and then do the subscript, that 2 will go down, okay, or be down below. Now in fractions, the first part of the fraction, some of the fractions are loaded into Word and they'll automatically happen. Other ones, you'll use a superscript. And then for the second number, you will use a subscript. Okay? All right, I'm going to go back to Mary, highlight the text Mary for our next section here. This is our text effects section. There are tons of different things you can do to text, and we'll just play around a little bit. I'm going to add a gradient fill gray outline to this text. That sort of, and I'll grow the font just so you can see it. That just gives it a, oops, what did I do? That just gives it basically a word art type of style. Okay, now we're going to go down again, and there's other things we can do. We can do an outline, which is like a border. So let's do purple, a purple border. And then we can go back and we can use a shadow. You can shadow any way, an inner shadow, a perspective shadow. Let's try the perspective shadow, which just puts our shadow behind it, like the light is on it. And then another thing you can do is a reflection. You can do a glow, Okay, so there's lots of options you can do for for text. Okay, the next, and I'm going to clear that formatting again. The next icon is the highlighter. Now, oftentimes when I first start teaching Computer 8 and I'll tell the kids to highlight text, this is what they do. They highlight the text. When I ask you to highlight text, what I want you to do is select the text. So I'm going to I just want you to know there's ways to highlight text and you can do all that. So I'm going to get rid of that. The next one over is a font color. You can change the font color. There's two different types of colors. There's theme colors and there's standard colors. Theme colors are in percentages. Okay, so let's do the orange accent 6. And if you scroll down, it says orange accent 6, darker 25%, darker 50%. So I'm going to choose that one. Okay, the great thing about using a theme color is watch what happens when I go and I change the theme. If I change a theme and I go to like flow, if you can see that text just turned green because that would be, and now it's orange. Apex, now it's purple. Grid, all the text is changing a bit. There's lots of different styles. Okay, and Office is the default one. All right, back to Home tab. So that takes care of the font group. Now we did previously go through the font dialog box, which offers all the same thing except for there's a couple other options here, especially on the Advanced tab. Okay, this should help you with your first assignment, the 20 questions assignment. But let's go on just for a moment to introduce a little bit about the paragraph group, just some really basic things such as the alignments. Your default for Microsoft Office, and default, what I mean by default is where it starts normally, is left aligned. Okay, this is center aligned. Now this is horizontal alignment going across the page. This would be right aligned to the margin, and then this is justified, which you can't really adequately show with just one word. But I'm going to left align it. Okay, there's some other icons here. If you had a shape, you could fill that shape or shade that. Let's see, we're going to just watch what happens if I just shade that. It just kind of, you know, just adds kind of like a background color. And that's, whoops, it didn't work. And that's about it for this video. I'll be showing you more things in the next video. Okay, thanks.